Can you hear me?
Great game. 50 seconds to go. Hurts. Deep shot. Hold in, Devontae.
Sure. Before the press conferences even start. I mean, we could talk for 45 minutes just about how atrocious the defense is.
Doing? He's just picking the big guys. Jordan Mailata, he's huge. He'll be good later on. Josh Sweat, he's tall as hell and strong. Let's get him. We'll figure him out. It's working.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on DSM Media Live. As always, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Make sure you smash that like button and share button. You know the drill. And also make sure when you're on YouTube, you hit that subscribe button. The road to 500 subscribers continues. And we got some really great specials and giveaways coming up in the new year at DSM Media. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. We got to get those numbers up on YouTube. All shows on DSM Media are brought to you by Manscaped, the leader in men's grooming products, the GOAT in below-the-waist maintenance. Make sure you check them out. Manscaped.com. Use promo code TRENDING. The name of the show, Trending, at checkout. Get you 20% off and free shipping. We got a fun episode today. We're live from sunny Orlando, Florida. Well, it's not sunny right now, but it will be sunny later today. It'll be 85 degrees today. Got the golf course behind me. And, you know, nothing major going on today, but we got lots to talk about because I'm joined by my brother today. You know, this guy's been talking trash that he can come on this show and talk and do it, but he never comes on ever. So we got my brother Charlie Stifle here. What's up, bud? How you doing?
I just had to say, I had to travel all the way down to Florida to get on this pod.
Hey, there has been an open invite forever for you, but you just don't have it.
I don't believe it. I don't think it's true.
All right. So we're going to dive into a lot of different sports topics today. So make sure if you're watching and you got anything to say, the comment sections are open on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. But if you really want to be able to get your comments seen on the air, you got to get over to the YouTube page so I can see your comments here on the stream. So we're going to talk Sixers, Eagles. We're even going to mention that the Flyers won against the Kraken last night, 3-2 in overtime. But that's pretty much all we could talk about Flyers-wise. So we're going to talk Sixers first because before we were going live, we were in the living room, we were talking, brought up that thing that we had yesterday with Sean Bernard from Philadelphia Sports Network on yesterday talking, the Doc Rivers exchange with Keith Pompey. And I was telling you that, you know, I thought it was an overreaction by Doc Rivers. You know, Sean yesterday thought it was an overreaction by Doc Rivers. But I was getting a lot of feedback on Twitter after the show that Doc Rivers was actually in the right to do that because it's motivating for a team, his players, that he's kind of got their back to an extent. Do you have any thoughts on the exchange, but also, you know, that thought process that it could be a motivating factor for his players?
I think it's a legitimate question by Keith Pompey. Okay. He's a branch of us. Mm-hmm. He sort of speaks for the people. It's not one of those layup questions where, hey, how was your team's effort today? Or one of those, you know, questions like that. I think Doc overreacted. You know, he wants to win every game. He doesn't care what he wins by. But when you're facing undermanned teams, like the Hawks the previous week in that game, you know, you need to. Why is this team constantly blowing leads? Constantly. I'll tell you why. I mean, they don't have a closer. They don't have somebody in the fourth quarter. A big man can't be the guy that gets you the points down the stretch. You need a point guard. You need Tyrese Maxey's been great, but he's still a second.
Well, he did struggle. You know, the other night he was. I think he was 2 of 11 shooting the other night. You know, his offensive game hasn't gelled with Joel back in the lineup since Tyrese has had that breakout to his game and all. They haven't really gelled as well, but I agree. You know, Tyrese Maxey, he's too young.
He's been in the league. Remember, the draft the previous year was in November.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a calendar year into his NBA career.
Absolutely.
So you need somebody that can just, hey, give me the ball. I'm going to go to a play.
Absolutely.
Big men cannot do that. You can't. I heard a stat the other day. Embiid is now 1 for 18, taking a final shot in the final 5 seconds or something like that. Big man, you can't have a.
Well,
big
I would
man
almost
doing it.
love to see where that ranks with other big men because I'm pretty sure like Shaq, he probably wasn't really great at the last second
They
of a
didn't
game.
go to Shaq.
Yeah,
They went to
exactly.
Kobe.
Was Hakeem Olajuwon taking last second shots? No, Clyde Drexler was probably on that team.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I mean? So the fact that he is your go-to guy, no, that's a crazy stat there. No, absolutely. So we also spent a lot of time yesterday talking about the trades. It's going to come at some point. The Ben Simmons trade.
Is it?
Maybe not.
Is Morey going to take the trade?
Well, that's the question. Are you holding? I've talked about this ad nauseum on these shows. Are you holding out if you're Daryl Morey till the perfect trade? Or are you making a trade, even if it's for yesterday the guy Sean Bernard, he had proposed a trade that brought us back Devontae Graham, Brandon Ingram, and who was the other guy on the trade? Now I'm drawing a blank. And CJ McCollum. It was a 3-team trade. We got CJ McCollum.
Okay,
Devontae, but we were also giving up Ben and Tobias in the deal. Great. It was a 3-way trade. So you would have CJ and Devontae Graham as your starting backcourt, Maxey and Curry running your second unit. You have Brandon Graham as your starting 3 now. And then that's where you pair it. Now you've got CJ, Devontae, and Brandon Ingram who can all take that last second shot.
Yeah, I mean Devontae Parker. I don't really want him taking the last shot.
Right. I'm just bringing up the names that are in the deal.
Yeah, I mean I would do that trade. I mean, get off the final 2 years of Tobias's contract. Yeah. It's an atrocious contract. They had no choice. They had to do it. They had the max slot open. But I would look to do that. You're not getting Lillard. You're not getting. I mean, Bradley Beal's had a horrible year for Washington.
Absolutely.
I mean, shooting wise, but he's still a stud. But I would definitely look to do that trade. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a 3-team package. Just nobody straight up.
It's good that we agree on that because I've been talking about that since the beginning of the season. Yeah, well, I mean, that there's no way, unless you're getting, which it's not going to happen now, and it's clear, you're not getting that Damian Lillard or Bradley Beal or anything like that. That's just not going to happen. If it's not for a superstar like that, it's got to be a 3 to 4 team trade. Like we've seen, the Lakers being rumored. A lot of these teams that don't have the things that's where the third team.
The Lakers thing, they have nobody unless it was a 3-team trade.
Right, exactly.
But straight up, you're not getting
14.
Westbrook and bringing him over.
Well, you wouldn't want him. I don't think Daryl Morey's that stupid.
He already traded for him once.
That's true. Again? So maybe he would do it again. Yeah,
gave up picks to get Westbrook in that.
On a side note, I haven't had a chance to say this live on the air. I'm not a huge Daryl Morey fan. Like, I mean, what has he ever really won? He's made a lot of big trades in his career as a president and GM, but he's never won a title on any of his teams.
He's forward thinking.
He is. So he's got his pros, and he thinks he's bigger than he is, and holding out might be a problem. So yesterday, Woj had one of his Woj bombs that said, "Don't be surprised in the next few days that a deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers gets done."
For what?
Exactly, and that's what I was
out.
Sexton,
for the season, right?
Sexton's the one they want to give, which means then you're punting on this season. You're giving up on the season.
Not an Embiid.
They're not going to give up Garland. Some people love Garland. I'm okay on Garland. I'm not huge on Garland.
The Cavs are not the option.
Okay.
So I like the Kings.
Okay.
I would look to get to the Kings.
Are you on the Fox side or the Hield side?
No, I don't need Fox. Fox puts up big numbers on a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need that. Okay. What I would like to do is try to get my hands on more shooting. So I would I would take Buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I would really look to take Harrison Barnes.
Okay.
But now that we see Tyrese Maxey starting to not digress, but just not be like the first 10 games of the year, we were like, oh, wow, this is great. We got our point guard. But, you get Harrison Barnes, another wing player, but he can shoot and he can defend. He's a D guy. And then you have Buddy Hield shooting the lights out.
Yep.
So, but then that doesn't help you with the point guard issue.
Yeah.
But
and that's an issue to me, the point guard issue. And you talk about Maxey and, first full calendar year and stuff like that. I brought up the fact that I kind of feel like he should be running the second unit right now. Okay. So that means you need a veteran point guard in here. And I brought up a few weeks ago, and I'd love to get your opinion on it. I got some good likes and some negative likes. I talked about Toronto as a trade partner. OG being brought in here. Okay.
Another wing guy,
a guy that could score. I don't know if he's ready to take the last second shot or not. But, he's 24, I believe. He's got 3 or 4 years left on his deal. So he's a building block there. And then I know everybody's like, well, go get Fred VanVleet to be the second part of the deal. I said, no, go get Goran Dragic for the rest of this year to be that mentor for Tyrese Maxey.
How many games has he played this year?
0.
Oh, all right.
But he's been working. How many games has Ben Simmons played this year? And another team's going to take on Ben Simmons
Okay,
too.
but
You just
we
want that
already have-
mentor, that veteran. He's played in championship games before. No, so you're not a fan.
No,
Okay,
no. We're not here. We're trying to maximize Embiid's prime. Which
so that's why you go get a veteran
has
point
3
guard.
years left. Van Fleet,
Okay.
little guy.
Okay.
No, I'm not a fan. I know he's a bulldog, but
Yeah.
he's got a big
kind of like the
contract,
York,
too. He's way
but he's on the
overpaid.
last year of his deal.
No, he's not. Is he?
Who?
Van Fleet?
No. I said Goran Dragic as the veteran. They were saying Fred Van Fleet to counter my wanting Goran Dragic.
He's what, 34, 35?
Yeah, played in championship games. He's like a European version of Kyle Lowry. A gutsy, gritty kind of guy that can just, but also a veteran that can coach Tyrese Maxey up.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there.
Okay,
I really would. Like I said, it would be great if Ben could just. I mean, right now you're currently playing what, $35 million under the cap.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you're 2 games above 500.
Yeah,
I mean, find me a team that's playing $35 million under the cap. I don't even think the Thunder.
You're not allowed to do that,
right?
You know what I mean?
So, I mean, hypothetically.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. Yeah.
It's crazy.
So then, the final part of that whole conversation, the Ben trade is, Daryl Morey keeps holding off. Do you agree? I think a trade needs to happen immediately. Okay, and here's why. Because you just said you got to maximize Joel Embiid. What's he got? 3-year window of max.
We hope more.
Yeah, we hope more, but you got to expect not more than 3
He's
years.
going to break down.
He is. So you want to maximize that, which means this is one of those years. I think a trade of Ben Simmons needs to happen now and not include Tobias Harris, because by February 10th, when the trade deadline comes, you need 2, 3, 4 weeks worth of games with whatever you get from Ben Simmons.
Absolutely.
So then you can then make an ancillary trade to readjust the rest of the team around him.
Yeah. I don't know where this. I mean, I haven't heard that Tobias is even out there. I mean, I wouldn't put anything past Morey.
I don't think he's physically out there.
Who's
I
gonna
think
take that
people
contract?
realize that he's not the perfect fit next to Joel Embiid either.
He can be. I mean, we got to let's worry about unloading Ben. All right. At least
Yeah.
Tobias shows up. He plays hard.
Mhm.
He gets a lot of flack, but I mean, he hasn't had a good year this year. But I mean, he battled COVID and some other nagging injuries. I would hang in there with him. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I was never for that. I'm a huge Tobias Harris fan. I love the guy, but I'm kind of realizing that maybe resetting around Joel Embiid is the right move to make.
well, you kind of already did that 2 years ago when you offloaded Horford and Richardson. And you added the shooting. We saw how good we could be when you add that shooting around Joel Embiid,
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was a few trades out there rumored to be out there earlier in the year, like the Pacers. I would look to the Pacers. They have talented players. I know Brogdon can't be traded because he signed that extension.
Yeah, exactly.
But before he signed that extension, I would have taken a Brogdon Levert or a Brogdon Turner.
Well,
Turner
their
would clash with Embiid,
offer
but
originally was just Brogdon and a first-round pick.
That's not
we
enough.
turned it down. That's not enough. But
That's
yeah,
not enough.
throw it in somebody else. The only problem with Brogdon and Levert that I've seen a lot of people bring up, and I don't watch enough Indiana Pacers basketball to know for sure, but there's that thing that says that they're injury prone to an extent. Do you want more injury prone people around Joel Embiid?
Yeah.
Brogdon's missed
True.
20 games a season
Has
multiple
he really?
times.
Yeah.
Levert's missed time.
But
I think
Brogdon can go get his own shot. That's
Yeah.
what I
No,
like.
absolutely.
He can drive.
I would
He
be
can
okay with that.
Dish out.
Yeah.
And Levert's not going to be a starter.
Yeah.
But hey, he
No,
can get
you know what I
12 off
wanted?
the bench.
I was joking with the idea that bring TJ McConnell back as an ancillary piece in that, just to have him on the bench, because dude, he's turned
It's a
into quite.
horrible thing.
Come on, he's been great in Indiana.
Yeah. He's been great. Yeah.
So
He plays
tonight-
10 minutes a game.
He's playing like
Come on.
20 minutes. You
Is he
want
really?
he played. Well, he's now out for the year. I think he tore his
TJ
ACL or
McConnell.
something like
You're
that.
trying to upgrade the team with
Yes,
TJ McConnell.
absolutely.
Come on.
He was in the top 5 for Defensive Player of the Year voting last year.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, really. I know. He had that one game where he had, 10 steals or something, right? You're a typical Philly fan.
I'm just
Trying to rehash TJ McConnell, the
Well,
process.
that's why I eliminated the part that people keep talking about bringing back Robert Covington in the trade report.
He can't move
His
anymore.
defense has gone down. I just saw
And he doesn't
they're,
shoot.
they're the 30th ranked perimeter defensive team in the NBA, Portland, and that's what Robert Covington's MO is, perimeter defense. And if they're ranked 30th, that obviously is showing that he's not.
They played the Sixers not too long ago.
Yeah.
He didn't score a single point.
No.
Played 32 minutes.
He's not the
He's
Robert
not-
Covington of the
yeah.
process.
Hey,
anymore.
good for him.
Yeah.
He worked his way up.
He got paid.
Where'd he go? Middle Tennessee State, and then worked his way up, got his contract, but I don't want him back.
Yeah. All right. So tonight the Sixers got the Nets. Brooklyn's got pretty much most of their team back. Kyrie Irving's still out.
Would you do a Kyrie
No.
Ben?
No.
Why not?
I just don't want that trouble. The head
What
case.
trouble?
The head case that Kyrie Irving is. Why? So you're saying you would do a Kyrie Irving?
I didn't know. I wouldn't
No,
want it
no,
either.
I wouldn't want the
was
head
just
case or
asking.
the trouble.
No. Yes.
I don't want to. We've had enough issues in the past, few years with Ben Simmons. We don't need any more trouble here.
Ben,
you know?
you haven't had issues with
Yeah.
Ben. You're just starting to have the issues with Ben.
All right, so New Jersey tonight, or Brooklyn tonight. Brooklyn Nets. Why did I call them New
Jersey.
Jersey Nets? I haven't
Yeah.
done that one before.
Jersey Nets.
We got Andre Drummond is coming back off of COVID. They said so. Shake Milton's the only guy we've got. Brooklyn's pretty much at full health. Everyone's back from
It's in
COVID.
Brooklyn?
Brooklyn. I said Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that Irving can't play tonight.
No, yeah,
He's
it's in
back
Brooklyn, so he
practicing
cannot
with the
play.
team.
Yeah. No, well, he's back in practicing, but he got COVID. So
Oh,
he's
did he
on the
really?
he got put on the
Oh,
COVID
my
list
God.
like 3 days into practicing
How
with the
about
team.
that?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
go figure right
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
right.
exactly. So it's kind of weird because obviously the Sixers are struggling. They're 18-16. They struggled to put the Raptors away. They lost to the Hawks. They did win against Washington, but they're only a 5-point dog against the Nets in Brooklyn, and they've got Kevin Durant coming back tonight.
Oh, he was out before?
Yeah, he was out on COVID for the last
him too.
week or two. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I think this will be his first game back off the COVID protocol list.
Well, his minutes might be down. That's the only
So,
way I can
how can do the
Brooklyn's
Sixers actually
not-
stand a chance then? Is that what
I
the
mean-
line is saying?
Second game of the year, we played Brooklyn in Philly.
Yeah.
Blew a lead.
Mm-hmm.
It really bothered me because we were up like 12 in the fourth, late in the fourth, and they
Right.
blew it. But I mean, who's Brooklyn got on their bench? Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Drummond, or no, excuse me, you're talking about Blake Griffin.
Yeah, which I could have a whole show talking
and you're
about how
talking
bad
about
Blake
Aldridge.
Griffin is. Yeah,
I mean, Aldridge has had a pretty good
yeah,
year,
yeah, it's had a good
but
year.
you're talking about he retired last year. He's back in the game already. I mean, without Irving, Harden has not had a good year.
No, he hasn't.
And I'm worried because there's rumors
Yeah,
about Morey and him. I don't know
They
what
have
they
some
got
kind of connection.
together,
Yeah, yeah.
but we don't want to hold out for Harden because he's out of shape. He
Yeah.
can't draw his fouls,
Yeah.
with shooting the ball. But Sixers can line up with Brooklyn as long as Durant doesn't go off for 40, which is a strong possibility.
It's always and again.
I mean,
we
seal
don't-
up
we-
the MVP right there. Durant's the MVP of the league already.
Okay, I haven't really
I
thought
think
about
so.
it enough. I haven't
it's
thought
early.
about the other guys
Not even
around him,
halfway
but
through. I mean, it's
Yeah.
him or Curry, but I mean,
Yeah.
Durant's the greatest scoring forward in the history of the game.
I think he'll go down as one of the top 5 scorers, period, of all time.
probably
Just scores, not overall
I think
players.
he's the greatest scoring. I mean, outside of Jordan, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's Jordan and there's everybody
Everybody
else.
else, yeah. There's different categories there, absolutely. So do you think the Sixers can pull out a win tonight then?
I do actually.
Yeah.
I feel like they play up and then they play down to their talent.
Okay.
They'll get up for this game. I mean, it's not a national broadcast though,
Mhm.
but they always play those teams, strong. I mean, what was it 2 weeks ago with Golden State? I would have bet the house that Golden State was going to win the
Absolutely,
game,
yeah.
and they pulled it out. So
Yeah,
I really do
it's
think
really
they have a
interesting
chance.
how they play down and play up like
It's
that.
just like
And it's like
all
you
the
know,
teams.
Joel Embiid, coming out after the game against Golden State and saying, "Yeah, I wasn't going to let Curry, break the record." So why can't you have that kind of attitude? 82, like every single game,
It's one of my pet peeves with them is they'll play like, but they play Golden State. They beat them soundly too, right? The next game, I forget who it was, but it was a lower opponent. They lost,
Mhm.
and it's like you guys feel like you celebrate that game, like,
Mhm.
oh, look at what we did. All right, well, the good teams come back,
Mhm.
and then get that easy win against an
Yep.
easy team. I mean,
Yep.
that's
Absolutely.
fine. This team, they frustrate me a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Absolutely. I totally agree. They're completely frustrated because we were literally the best team in the Eastern Conference last year. And we were one bad series against the Hawks from playing for the Eastern Conference Finals. And, that team should have made the Eastern Conference Finals, could have made the title.
Should
We
have.
matched up great
Should
against the
have.
Bucks last year. We could have beaten them. But, yeah, should have, could have. Yeah.
I mean, the Bucks.
Bucks were playing
I love
great,
How
yeah,
people
yeah.
say, "Oh, you would just blow past the Bucks."
No,
and
no,
then
no,
right
no.
in the finals.
It would have been a good
I
6-7 game series, and
It
we
would
would
have
see.
been because at least we had the guy that could kind of guard Giannis.
Mhm.
Ben Simmons is the ideal guy
Yeah.
to guard.
To think how different this team is. We bitched and moaned about Ben Simmons in playoffs and how bad he was last year against the Hawks. Horrible, awful. But yet, look at how bad this team is without Ben Simmons. It just proves how great.
They're not bad.
Well, how much of a difference
They're
there
not
is.
a championship contender.
Right.
They'll be top. If they went the whole year without Ben,
Mhm.
it'd be 6 seed. I mean,
We
doubt.
actually have a-
Washington, Cleveland's going to die. They're going to go.
Yeah, there's
down.
no way
Trust
they're
me.
going to. We talked about
And
this
Washington,
yesterday.
they jumped out to a huge.
And they're already falling.
They're
Yeah,
probably already in the playing game. I haven't
Yeah.
looked at the standings in a while. But
Well, we were looking at it yesterday. The Sixers have a super, super easy schedule in January. Very easily could move up from that 6th spot to the 5th or even 4th spot in the Eastern Conference based off it. They got a lot of Orlando games and stuff
they're
like
not
that.
getting above 4 this year anyway. They're too far
Yeah,
back.
not this year.
No.
Unless Maury pulls some magic out and it
But like
instantly
you
clicks
said,
within 3 seconds.
Right.
And
It's going to
you
take time with the adjustments. And
absolutely.
I
All right.
don't
Let's transition. Let's go from Sixers talk to Eagles talk here. Eagles got Washington football team this weekend. Tomorrow, Football Friday, we'll dive. I got Aaron Bell from Philadelphia Sports Network. Jason Voorhees will be back in the co-host saddle tomorrow. But the Eagles have a scenario where they can lock up that playoff spot this weekend. They win, and there's 2 different scenarios. Minnesota loses in both scenarios. One scenario, if New Orleans loses. The other scenario, if San Francisco wins this weekend. Playoff spots are locked up. Is there a point in your mind, say 6, 7 weeks ago, even 8 weeks ago, that you thought that you could be talking about the Eagles in the playoffs this season?
Not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
No, when they were 2-5 after that Las Vegas Raiders game, I was not thinking playoffs. I did see that the schedule was going to lighten up. I mean, we all knew the first 7 weeks of the year it was going to be a very tough go at it, especially with this new team and new staff. But I did not think playoffs. I was thinking 7-10, maybe 8-9. Of course, you could still finish 8-9, but
and you could actually, I don't know if you know this, the Eagles could lose out and still make the playoffs. There is a scenario where like 9 other things happen where they can make the playoffs at 8-9. I mean, it's insane to think about it, but
I don't want that. Take care of business this weekend. I do not think they're going to win this weekend.
Okay, that's actually. I wish George was watching because George, my boy across the pond, just tweeted that at me yesterday. He's like, he's got a bad feeling this weekend.
I have the same feeling, George. I really do because it's all too perfect.
Yeah,
and we know this script. We've seen this movie. Oh, just win against this undermanned Washington team, and you're in the playoffs. And guess what?
Look! I switched to another screen. This is the list of questionable and out guys on Washington's team. I mean, this list is just massive. How many guys?
That Tuesday night game against them, they didn't win that because they had Gilbert
Godfrey.
I mean, whoever.
What's eating Gilbert Grape? Yeah, whatever joke you want to make there.
He was starting. At least Heineke is back this week.
There was actually talk. I saw that they're going to start Heineke, but they plan on playing both Heineke and Kyle Allen.
Really?
Yeah, which is weird. Which actually kind of makes me feel just because of how much they've one struggled, the other doesn't.
Well, Heineke's had a pretty decent year.
Kind of an okay year, yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, he's a lot better than that Gilbert dude. So, I mean, listen, they're coming off a beatdown.
Embarrassment.
All right, a beatdown. They're coming home. They've had. I mean, you got to look at their schedule. They played a Tuesday, then they flew Tuesday in Philly game. Mm-hmm. Then they flew to Dallas. Yep. And now finally they're coming home. All right. And I mean, I just feel like we always struggle down there, whether it was RFK Stadium or FedEx Field. Mm-hmm. Washington is always a tough place to play.
Absolutely.
And it's just making me nervous. It really is.
It's so funny
guys
because you're the only George the other day and you're the only 2 people I've seen say that you're scared about it. I mean, I get what you're both saying. And I was, if you didn't bring that up, I was going to bring up the fact, Miles Sanders out, Jordan Howard possibly out. There's a lot of things on the Eagles side of the equation that kind of points to what you're saying as well, not just what you're saying about Washington. So, it's kind of great to hear somebody else's thoughts on that in that same sense.
They should win the game.
Absolutely.
Will they win the game? I mean, we're talking like, good teams beat bad teams. Well, are the Eagles really a good team? Are they?
No. I mean,
this is a transitional year.
Hey, they are literally record-wise exactly where I had them predicted at this point. I had them 2-5, then I had them going 5-2, and then I had them winning against the Giants. And I actually had them winning this game and then losing next week to Dallas because I thought Dallas wasn't going to be quite as good and as far ahead of the pack. Yeah. Where now if they rest their starters, I had them at 9-8, losing the last week to Dallas. Dallas winning 9 games and winning the division that last week of the season. That is exactly. I only had 2 games predicted wrong. I had them losing to Carolina and beating San Francisco.
Wow.
And every other game,
they were in that San Francisco game.
Yeah, exactly.
If Sirianni didn't get too cute at the goal line, I mean, he was
first and goal at the line. I pretty much called the season to a T.
How about you?
Yeah. Hey, Pat back. That's
Yeah.
going. What? How many games have they played so far? 15. Going
15.
13-2 isn't winning though. You know, that's. I'm not cashing that ticket in any window.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. So then, before we get into any more on the game, I've never had you on a show before. Thoughts on Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni as the future, not just how they're doing this year, but the future next year and beyond.
Well, I'll start with Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at the prospects coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're going to have the 3 first-round picks.
Which aren't going to be as good as they were.
Yeah, I know.
7 weeks ago, we had 3 top 10 picks.
Exactly.
Now we got 3 picks.
But even
they're
if you had
19,
the top,
20, and 23 at this moment.
even if you had a top 5 pick, there's no Trevor Lawrence coming out
Right.
or a franchise changer. I mean, Kenny Pickett from Pitt. You'll see him climb up the charts.
Absolutely.
Once Mel Kiper gets going. But I would go with Hurts for another year.
Mhm.
I think the defense needs to be addressed a lot more than the offensive side of the ball.
Mhm.
I would look to maybe sign a free agent for a wide receiver, although we haven't had good luck of that in the past.
Mhm.
But I would, right off the bat, I would take those 3 picks and I would go defense.
So you're
Edge
taking,
rusher.
you're taking the 3 picks.
I'm going to keep the 3 picks.
Okay.
I'm going to go edge rusher.
Yep.
I need somebody in the secondary.
Mhm.
And God forbid we take a linebacker in the first round, which hasn't happened since the 80s.
1979, I believe it was.
79.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that's what I would do. But to get back on Hurts, he has his limits.
Mhm.
But I would stick with him because the locker room loves him.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. I don't know if you saw that report on Gardner Minshew.
Oh, him marching. Yeah, I
Yeah.
tried talking, and when I brought it up on the show a few days ago, no one else on the show had heard of that yet.
Yeah.
So I was kind of talking to myself. I thought it was fantastic.
I think it's great. What do I have to do? I mean, if anybody didn't know, Minshew went in Sirianni's office and said, "What do I got to do to get the starting job?" And Sirianni shut it right down, as he should.
And that
Because we
earns
love
props.
quarterback controversies
I
in
don't.
Philadelphia. But anybody else, a locker room could have gotten divided. Because let's be honest, Minshew played well. I mean, against a pretty poor team, but he played pretty well.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have some cannon of an arm or have the traits of a franchise quarterback. He's going to be a journeyman quarterback.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. But my point of the matter is, Hurts has that locker room lock and key. Okay. Everybody respects him in the locker room.
Yep.
So I give him points for that. So
Yep.
his limits as a passer, obviously, it looks like he doesn't read defenses as well, but I think in time it can get a little bit better. But I'm sticking with Hurts.
Yeah, so I agree. We're sticking with Hurts no matter what because, like you said, Kenny Pickett, he's the best of a bad group of quarterbacks. He's going to get drafted way too early.
Way too high.
He's a 2nd or 3rd round quarterback.
Probably.
And he's going to get drafted in the 1st round.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, maybe even top 10. Yeah, absolutely. That's just I've talked about that ad nauseum. It's just unfortunate because there's guys like Zach Wilson and Trey Lance and all these guys that were drafted in the top 5 that didn't deserve to be drafted in the top 5 necessarily. But so my question is, and I've been saying this a lot, it kind of stirs up some issues. We all agree that Hurts is going to be the guy next year because of by default. I actually think he's done enough playing, even with his deficiencies, to earn that next year, even without the outside fact that there is nobody else. I mean, let's be honest. Russell Wilson is a pipe dream. It's not going to happen. Aaron Rodgers isn't coming to Philly. No. What else are you going to do? You're going to go get Jimmy Garoppolo? He's going to be available. Who just tore his thumb or something like that? So, but even with all those outside situations out of the equation, I think he's done enough with an average at best football team to earn the right by his play on the field, his leadership in the locker room, not just because there's nobody else better to take in here.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he's.
I mean, again, you talked about Tyrese Maxey, in his first calendar year. I said it last year, and I said it again this year. Anybody that was a rookie in 2020 in any sport, technically is still a rookie this year. There was no camps, there was no off-season workouts and stuff like that.
He did not have any camps.
So he is still learning on the job right now. So I think he's done enough to earn. Because let's be honest, this was a 3-year, maybe 2-year, 3-year rebuild we were working on here.
Oh, they never said rebuild.
They didn't.
Transition.
But it basically transition is a rebuild.
Yeah.
And they've already in one quick year they've flipped the switch and they're already a playoff team.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
I know. That loss they're going to do on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying, but he still can't throw a deep ball.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen him underthrow a deep ball?
Okay.
He did it just last week too. I forget it. I think it was Smith going down, and Smith has to stop on his route.
Right.
I don't think he has the arm strength.
But see, I think you're overreacting
talk about
to
locker room leadership, and I was just saying it too. But
So
That
so
arm
I don't
strength-
think he doesn't have the arm strength.
I don't.
I think it's other parts of it. So one, I think he's still learning how to translate what he sees to his mind to his arm. So
He's
it's not
had
that
21 starts.
right. He's not reacting quick enough. And George always talks about him not being able to read the field and progressions and all. He needs to get quicker at that. And the reason why he's short on these throws is because he's late throwing the ball. Okay, he's double pumping. He's waiting an extra second. Secondly, his footwork. He's not stepping into the throws. When you see him step into a throw, he's got as much arm strength as Gardner Minshew, if not more.
Oh, Minshew doesn't have it.
Absolutely. Everybody was talking about his 2 touchdowns to Dale Scott were both underthrown.
Yeah, I know.
You know, nobody wants to talk about that.
No,
They just
yeah,
want to talk
yeah.
about Minshew mania.
Yeah.
But no, I think
Minshew is a better version of Coy Detmer, all right? We love Coy
I like
Detmer
that.
with
I
the
like that
beard
comparison.
and the
Yeah.
truck.
the personality is stronger than the game.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
but I still think he's coachable. That it's not all just arm strength. I think there is some arm strength there. That if somehow I don't know, I brought it up to 3 or 4 different guests. Can you teach reading it, translating it from your mind to your arm? Can you teach you to get faster at reading, reacting? And I don't know if you can or not. And that's the question, because I think that's where the deficiency in the arm is. It's the read and react. It's not the actual arm strength.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him make some really good throws.
Yeah, I'm sure. I
You
mean,
know?
I've seen it too, but I'm telling you right now, if you had a top 5 pick and Trevor Lawrence or that type of a quarterback was coming out, you would take him.
Would you trade
You would take him.
my man Vince Quinn from Bell and the Birds podcast, or just like me? He's big on Russell Wilson, and it would just be fun to bring Russell Wilson into Philly. Would you trade 2 of your first-round draft picks for Russell Wilson?
Yes.
Yeah?
In a second.
In a second, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts.
I mean, Howie's hitting on 3 draft picks
Yeah.
is slim to none.
Actually,
So if I get to
that's
keep
just great.
one of them and trade 2 of them and get a quarterback, Russell's what, 31, 32?
Yeah.
Quarterbacks are playing. You get another 8, 9 years out of him. You could build around Russell Wilson, which
I mean, it's a pipe dream. It's not going to happen. But I'm
Why
going to be
not?
obnoxious at what?
He's going.
Yeah,
He's
but
not staying
he's
in
going
Seattle.
to have a lot of say in where he goes. Is 32-year-old Russell Wilson going to look at the rest of the Eagles roster and be like, I want to go there?
Right. No.
That's why he's not
I
coming
think
here.
he goes to New York.
The Giants?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Absolutely. They have been run down. They haven't had a quarterback since Eli. And
Yeah.
say what you will about Eli, but he did win 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, he won 2 Super Bowls. He'll probably
so
get
you
into the
can't
Hall of
take that
Fame.
away. Oh, no doubt. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's not a Hall of Fame quarterback, but he'll get in.
No, he's absolutely not. But I think he goes to New York. And
Okay.
Rodgers, I don't know. Why does he want to go anywhere? Find a situation that's better. Where could he go that he would improve his chances?
Well,
He's sitting at top
they were
of the
talking
NFC
on
conference
Saturday
right now.
night, during the Saturday Night Football game last week, about him going to Cleveland potentially.
Why would he want to go
I
to
don't know why he'd
Cleveland?
want to. Cleveland's now being linked to him. Cleveland's being linked to Deshaun Watson.
I could see
So
Watson. Watson doesn't have any options.
my shop's food delivery comes from Pittsburgh. Okay, my truck driver comes from Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
So I asked him when he was dropping off food on Monday. I'm like, how bad was that game? What do you think of Pittsburgh and blah blah? And he listens to sports talk in Pittsburgh every day, all day long. It's Pittsburgh, which it's not real sports talk.
Wow.
But he said that it's definitely Ben Roethlisberger's the end of the line. And then I started asking him, I'm like, what about Mike Tomlin? Because I've heard some rumblings that some people in Pittsburgh aren't happy with Mike Tomlin anymore. He's like, no, Mike Tomlin's here for at least another 5 until he wants to retire.
15th season. He
Yeah.
hasn't had a losing season.
He's going to stay for a while.
He ain't going
He said, don't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers, they're talking about on Sports Talk Radio a lot right now.
That's
There's a lot of dots connecting because I think he's got some connection to Pittsburgh as well. I don't know whether it's family or, there's I forget what he said, the driver, but there is connection to Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers.
Well, they have a talented receiving core.
Yep.
I mean,
Absolutely. And they have cap space in Pittsburgh. He said they have about $35 million in cap
yeah, but
space.
they don't sign free agents. Pittsburgh rarely.
Well, that's
makes
why
a
you
big
got Aaron
splash.
Rodgers. He's a free agent. You make that.
He is a free
Yeah.
agent. That's right.
Russell
That's
Wilson's
right.
a trade.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is a free agent. I'm
I still don't understand
sorry.
why would he leave Green
I
Bay?
agree.
I mean,
I agree.
Pittsburgh is down again.
They're
right
probably
now,
going to play for the Super
7-7.
Bowl, Green Bay, this year.
Probably.
Yeah.
But he has the best chance. I mean, the only where could he improve himself? He could go to Kansas
Well,
City. Oh wait, he's not going there.
The talk is that wherever Aaron
San
Rodgers go,
Francisco?
Devontae Adams is going to go too. Could you imagine
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Chase Claypool, and Deontay Johnson with young Najee Harris? All of a sudden, he's going to be even a better player.
That'd be amazing.
They have to work on their offensive line because their offensive line is getting Ben Roethlisberger killed.
Well,
but-
Roethlisberger can't move anymore.
Well, yeah, Aaron
So,
Rodgers can. So it's an interesting situation there.
that
For
is.
him.
I haven't thought about Pittsburgh, but
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's good. 'cause
I didn't thought about it until
They
you
don't
said
have the next quarterback in the building,
He-
Haskins and Mason Rudolph.
he actually says that they've spent more time on Sports Talk Radio talking about Aaron Rodgers coming to Pittsburgh in the offseason than they have about the actual current product the last 2 weeks on Sports Talk Radio.
Well, they're not playing for anything, I don't think.
I think they have like the Eagles with Jeff Garcia that 1 year where we needed 9 things to happen the last week of the season.
happened.
They have that kind of a situation to make the playoffs, maybe, but
Yeah.
but that's about it.
I don't know. If I'm Rodgers, I'm just staying put. I don't know. I mean, Green Bay, it's.
They work
I
on.
mean,
their
imagine they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Or even get to the game. Where are you going? I don't even know what his beefs are. They've been pretty good under LaFleur the past 3 years.
something with
All right,
ownership.
so you
He's
let
got some kind
Randall
of beef
Cobb
with
go. I mean,
he's
they brought
got
him
some
back.
beef with ownership. I'm not even sure where that beef.
Ownership.
Yeah.
Isn't it everybody owns the
Well,
Packers?
whoever runs
The president.
the
like
president, the
Ted Thompson
organization,
or, somebody like
Yeah.
that.
whoever's calling the shots, he's
Yeah.
got the issue with and all. Somehow we got off of the Eagles there and got
right.
talking about Aaron
Yeah, yeah,
Rodgers and whatever.
Well,
Anyway,
to go back to your original question, you
Hurts.
said about Hurts.
so now Nick Sirianni.
Now, about Sirianni. He's a little corny in his press conferences,
Absolutely.
but I really like him. I really do.
Yeah.
I think he has done well. He has adjusted well, which is
But
amazing.
did you like him when he was first hired in
No.
that first press conference?
No,
I liked him even during that first press conference.
I don't.
I didn't put the
Listen, Peterson failed his first press conference.
Andy
Chip Kelly
Reed
won his press conference.
Andy Reid failed his first press conference too.
Yeah,
mean,
that
you were
was a
like-
long time ago.
you were like
I was
2 years
16.
old.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was 16. That was in '99.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're
so I'm
16.
16,
Yeah. Okay. I forgot how old you are.
Yeah, right. But Chip Kelly won his press conference. He shouted out Wing Bowl and we're from Philly and all that stuff. And you saw how his tenure went. Peterson failed his beginning press conference. So I didn't care about his press conference. He did look nervous.
Yeah.
He looked like he was how he was doing a ventriloquist. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's basically what he is. That's why they didn't hire a big name guy.
Yeah.
Howie wants the involvement, you know. And then just this last weekend, he was really kissing up to Howie after the game. You know, Howie said, "Oh, great way to come back from the 2-5 start." And oh no, thanks for the offensive line and defensive line. Like, dude, relax, all right. But getting back to him, he's made his adjustments.
Mhm.
It still annoys me. Even this previous game against the Giants, what do they come out? They throw the ball 4 times. Like, dude, you're a
They
running
threw the
team.
ball 7 of the first 8 plays.
Run the ball. Then guess what? They started running the ball.
effective.
That's what they are. Right now, they're a running team. I wonder
So-
why.
So we get to this week. Then you say they're a running team. Miles Sanders is out.
Right.
Jordan Howard stinger. They're saying he's questionable, but remember back in 2019, he missed. He had a
Yeah.
stinger and he missed like
We thought it would only be a week. He missed a month
yeah,
or
he
so.
missed
Yeah.
more than a month. I think.
Yeah, right.
It's insane. So can they effectively run the ball with Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell, maybe Jason Huntley? I don't know.
They signed Kerryon Johnson
Did they sign him back? Okay, I must
to
have
the
missed that.
practice squad,
Okay,
but
so they could elevate him.
I could imagine they would elevate him
Yeah.
because he was there in training camp,
Yep.
so he's familiar somewhat of the playbook.
I mean,
Boston Scott, you can give him 12 to 15 carries.
okay, so they need to run the ball 30 times a game to be effective. You're going to give him 12. I don't think he's much more than a 12 to 15
No,
guy.
he's too small.
Kenneth Gainwell, I mean, we haven't seen him used that many times in the backfield. I hate when the games when Jalen Hurts takes 15 to 18 carries.
Well, as
Yeah.
you've seen the past couple of weeks,
He's taking less. Yeah,
he's
he's
taking
taking
less.
about 8.
That ankle's still got to be bothering him.
Absolutely.
But
So can you effectively win? You say you give Boston Scott 12, say you give Kenneth Gainwell 6 or 7 carries, Huntley or Kerryon Johnson 6 or 7 carries. Well, what are we at now? 12. We're at 24 carries now.
yeah,
So that means you're putting 5. Now you're looking at Jalen Hurts throwing the ball 25 to 30 times.
that's a scary thought.
That's a very scary
Goes
thought.
back to my point of
Yeah.
possibly losing this game, but I think they'll be all right with the running aspect. Boston Scott's he's a good running back.
Yeah.
Not good. He is what he is. He's a third string running back that can be elevated, I think.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I can get behind that. I just, I don't know. I have my fears aren't behind Washington. It's my fears this week is behind the Eagles with no Miles Sanders, no Jordan Howard. If Jordan Howard plays, I have no problem saying
Yeah.
that the Eagles win this game.
Boy, he's really he was practically almost out of the league.
Yeah.
We signed him.
Oh, I was making jokes when they signed him because he was averaging 1.2 yards a carry with Miami last year.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, come on. Everybody was freaking
Yeah,
out. They
he
were bringing in
was.
Jordan Howard. I'm
Right.
like, come on now. There was a reason why he was on the practice squad because he doesn't have the legs to play 17 games anymore.
I don't know. I mean, he's a bruiser. He really runs the ball well. It's amazing. And how old is he? You know how old he is?
26.
Yeah.
That's old for a running back.
That's not that old. 26. He
average
practically didn't even run the ball
the
last
average
last
career
year.
for an NFL running back, I forget now. I looked it up a couple weeks ago. It's 2.7 or 2.8 years. So
Yeah, I mean, but this guy was an All-Pro.
Yeah,
I mean, he
no.
made a Pro Bowl with the Bears, ran for 1,000 yards a couple times. I mean, he's a good. He's not your lead back, but
no.
he has really served a purpose for this team.
And Boston Scott, I mean, this is exactly what he did in 2019. You know, he came in when there was injuries,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden,
Right.
practice squad Boston Scott,
Right.
he wouldn't even be on this roster right now if Miles Sanders didn't get hurt in
Remember
2019.
that catch he made against the Giants?
I was at. It was a Monday Night Football
Monday
game.
night
I was at that.
game,
I was
yeah.
at that game.
That was
so,
an amazing catch. I
Yep.
think it was like a.
It was rainy. We were down. You know, Carson Wentz had to put us on our.
I think we were down at the half.
Yep, we were.
Wentz had
Yeah.
another
Huge
terrible
second
game.
hand. Yeah, it was Boston Scott and Greg Ward
Greg
led
Ward,
the charge on the
no
comeback.
name. Who
Yep.
was that other guy that caught a big pass? Oh
I
man,
don't remember.
some of those no-name guys we had playing in 2019.
Yeah.
Because
No,
the receiving core was terrible.
Well, the receiving core still is an issue here.
I
Outside
don't,
Devontae
I don't
Smith.
think it is. I
No?
mean, I think Quez Watkins can be in the top 4 of your receiving core.
Yeah, I think he's a 3 or a 4. He's not. I mean, I think we may have in the preseason and training camp with some big plays. I think everybody jumped the gun a little bit about anointing him.
He's got speed. You can't teach speed.
No,
He's got the
that's fine.
speed, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying.
Well, there are people that thought coming in the
no,
season that he was no doubt about it the number 2 option.
I'll
on this
take
team.
Smith. I'm not saying I want Smith and Watkins as my outside guys.
Absolutely not.
But I mean, you can use him your top 4 receivers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No, they obviously need to address. There's some veteran free agents out there on the market this year.
You say veteran free agents. That's what I say. Everybody says.
Well, you
But
need
what
to
is how?
complement-
But what
you
is
can't
how-
draft another receiver.
What is Howie Roseman's track record?
You
Drafting
cannot.
wide receivers.
You are
early in the
not.
game.
You are
I
not
know,
drafting.
But let's look at the.
Hold on. What
let's look-
franchise would dare to draft
Howie, the
three?
smartest man in the room.
Well,
Howie
first off, you
Roseman.
never draft for need, so that's not smart.
I'm
You're
not saying it's smart.
drafting a third receiver in the first
If you
round.
take 3 first-round picks this year, do not be disappointed when Howie takes a wide receiver.
No, you know what he'll do. He'll take a tackle, an offensive tackle, or an offensive lineman, because you can never have too many of those.
And it's fair. It's a
But you
fair
already
statement.
have a first rounder rotting on the bench right now because he can't get on the field.
He did clear COVID protocol, so he's available to play this week if we need him.
Great.
Andre Dillard.
Yeah,
you know?
that's great.
That solves that
Can't
problem.
beat out a 7th rounder rugby player.
Come on now. Shout out to my boy Jake at Talking 215. He has been shouting out Jordan Mailata every single day for like 47 days straight, trying to get him to come on for an interview. I played his music video. He made a music video calling out Jordan Mailata with a little ukulele and stuff like that. And Jordan Mailata responded to him and is coming on his show as soon as the season ends.
How about that?
He's literally 47 days of shouting out Jordan Mailata and finally made a music video. Jordan Mailata saw it and he's going to be on the show.
That's a creative way to get somebody
dude,
on. Yes.
After the show, I'll play. I'll find it for you and show it to you.
No, it's pretty cool.
It's really cool. I'm really happy for Jake and Talking 215. That crew, Scooter and him are doing a great job over there. And now I lost my train of thought. So yeah, the drafting of a wide receiver, it is a possibility. Don't be surprised. It's just Howie's MO.
Yeah, well,
you know,
yeah.
he's drafted how many wide receivers? It's now what, 3 years in a row he's drafted an early wide receiver.
2.
Well, Reagor, Ortega-Whiteside,
That was
Smith.
the 2nd round.
So,
yeah.
but first or second round, we've got early. He might say,
Could you imagine the receiving core you could have right now with DK Metcalf, right?
You don't know the rules.
Justin Jefferson. What's the rules?
The rule is I'm done talking about the what ifs there.
No,
I mean, you
saying.
can. I mean, it's a fair point.
Could have had a
It's
hell
joke,
of a
yeah.
wide receiving core.
Well, if you get one, you don't get the other. You say Justin Jefferson. I like to bring up the point all the time that Justin Jefferson wasn't the miss. It was CeeDee Lamb.
Right.
Because if you think about it, the Jalen Reagor pick and the Jalen Hurts pick is all that Atlanta wanted to take CeeDee Lamb.
So you're first and the 2nd round. Yeah.
And then the whole you like to talk about what ifs in Philly sports. The whole what if is you get CeeDee Lamb, you never have Jalen Hurts to challenge and make Carson Wentz fall apart. Carson Wentz still may be our starting quarterback. You might have CeeDee Lamb and Carson Wentz as your starting team here right now. It's a whole
I'm
what
glad
if.
Wentz is
Yeah,
not, you know, he was soft, man.
We went 6 months.
How do
without
you let a
dropping
2nd round quarterback?
Yeah.
Challenge.
I don't even care. I don't even care about him anymore. We got the first round pick now.
I don't
now
think
the
about
first round pick is locked up.
Yeah.
I have moved on. I will not pay attention to Carson Wentz's career whatsoever anymore.
I mean, I'll keep an eye on him. I mean, the other game.
I mean, I have a Carson Wentz jersey still. I did not pack it and bring it on this trip. I haven't worn it all season long.
You can't wear it.
Yeah.
If it's a Philadelphia Eagles Carson Wentz,
yeah, it is.
jersey,
An Eagles
you
kid.
can't.
No,
It would be
absolutely
a major violation.
Absolutely.
I'm teaching my 5-year-old son that.
Okay.
He has a Wentz. We bought him a Wentz jersey because we figured, hey, he'll
Carson
be here
Wentz
for
just
a
signed a
franchise
5-year deal.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Guess what? That jersey will not be worn ever again.
Yeah, that's maybe when he retires in the Hall of Fame and stuff like that.
Well, he wouldn't go in as an Eagle anyway. Yeah.
So let's talk violations, because you know what? I got 2 violations I want to bring up to you because you're an old school guy like me. You know, we listened to WIP growing up and, you know, talking about the Mikey Miss violations and stuff like that. So the first violation is not the one you think with the jersey that I brought on vacation here. The first one, my boy Jeff, he wore, when he took me to an Eagles game, to the Chargers game, he wore a jersey. Okay. It was number 91. Who's number 91?
Fletcher Cox.
Right. But it said his last name, Jeff Warner, on the back of it. And I said owning a jersey with your own name on it is a total violation.
Total violation.
I ran a poll on Twitter.
Maybe like, a 5-year-old could get away with
350 votes. It was like 70% said violation, but yet I got more comments from people that said they own personalized jerseys. Would you ever wear a personalized jersey?
Absolutely not.
What would you do if your wife bought you a Stifle jersey?
I did. Her little cousin gave me a gift one time. It was a Phillies t-shirt jersey and it had Stifle on the back, number 12, right? That thing has not made it out of the drawer. I can never wear. I don't even wear it around the house. That's how big of a violation it is.
It's a total violation.
No, I'm not wearing it.
No, that's got to be
a part of the team. You're not on the team.
No, not at all.
So, hey, what, you play on the team? You got your name on the
glad
jersey?
my wife's smart. Like, my wife, she tried to get me some of this new Sixers, you know, Spectrum gear and stuff like that for my birthday this year. And it's just so backdoored and short, you know, in supply. She's like, oh, well, I didn't get it. I got you this other Sixers hoodie. All they had was a Ben Simmons, you know, one that was the only one available. But I knew not to get you the Ben Simmons Spectrum. I'm like,
of course not. It was probably half off anyway.
It probably was, yeah. Jesus. So, you know, at least she was smart enough to know. I'm just happy that she knows and she pays attention enough to know
absolutely.
Not to buy a Ben Simmons jersey right now.
I told you, though, that what I did with my son, right after that Atlanta Hawks series, I was so angry at Ben Simmons. My son has a Ben Simmons t-shirt jersey, and we took it and put it in the fire pit and burned it. Because he needs to learn that that's the way we react to things. We have to take our anger out on something.
How much did you pay for that jersey?
It was probably a gift, but it's a
I don't care.
Little
I hate burning
t-shirt jersey.
Drop it in the donation bin at the local, you know, whatever.
Now you're making me feel bad.
Yeah, you should feel bad. There's some freezing cold kid in Michigan.
It's a t-shirt, so that t-shirt's not going to do much.
Maybe there's a kid walking around with no shirt on right now. Go give it to the homeless guy on the street corner.
When you go to that point, you're right. I should have donated.
Yeah,
but I don't even think the homeless would want that shirt.
Yeah, that's
the way he plays,
especially if it's homeless in Philly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, anywhere.
Maybe Trey Young would have wanted it.
Yeah, because he owned them.
Yeah, exactly.
No, actually, Ben did a pretty good job defending him.
Yeah.
All right.
So the second violation I brought. So we talked about Carson Wentz. You can't wear a Carson Wentz jersey. You can't wear a Ben Simmons jersey.
Right.
But where is the line defined on players that leave Philly, but leave on either good terms or that still holds special heart?
That's a great question.
Because I have my Jimmy Butler Sixers jersey. Jimmy Butler, I wanted him on the Sixers so bad. I loved Jimmy Butler playing in Minnesota and Chicago. I've always loved his game and style. As soon as he came to Philly, I actually didn't buy it. My boy Nick won it at WIP the day he got traded here, and he gave it to me because he's not a basketball fan. And it's authentic. It's a real legit jersey. I wear that thing still with pride, and I packed it in my bag, and I will be rocking it here poolside today. Is that a violation? Because Jimmy Butler is still playing.
Year.
But still, he embodied what Philadelphia should be about with its athletes, and he wanted to be here still.
Did he? Yeah. He wanted some changes.
He wanted some changes, but he wanted to play with Joel Embiid still.
He did, and he was tight with Joel. But he
did
didn't
things
want to play for Brett.
Yeah, he did things here the right way, and he didn't leave because he forced his way out. He left because front office kind of won in the argument on who's
a free agent.
Yeah, well, he could have still
anywhere,
but he could have stayed here and made more money the way the rights in the contract. Yeah. So I'm just saying. I mean, you know, you think it's a violation that I wear my Jimmy Butler jersey still? I don't. I think.
Well, I'll tell you what. If we would have won the finals that year,
okay,
which we should have, because that
was the best team that we've had.
But I mean, you know who was on the team.
JJ Redick's still playing.
Yeah, I mean that was a hell of a starting five, right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they would have won the finals, you get a pass because Butler probably would have been the main reason why they won it. But you didn't get out of the second round. I mean, it was one of the most heartbreaking losses I've ever seen.
Yeah,
that's right up there with Joe Carter.
Really?
Joe Carter that Kawhi hit. That was.
I remember sitting in our house in CK watching that Joe Carter home run.
That was brutal.
Around that little square TV we had in the living room there, you know.
No remote.
No remote. You had to get up and
change the channel.
Exactly. You know.
But no, I don't think you can wear the Butler jersey.
Guess what? It's getting one
today. It's a good question you posed.
So what is the line? Where is that line?
Brian Dawkins jersey all
and he
day
left.
long,
Yeah.
Even when he was playing for Denver.
He never won a title though.
I know, but you want to talk about somebody that embodies Philadelphia. I mean, that was our guy, you know.
So yeah, I mean, Brian Dawkins would be number one. Like if you had a Mount Rushmore of Philly athletes that embodied what Philly is.
Right. Dawkins.
Not skill, just embodied Philadelphia. Dawkins would be one. Jimmy Butler was only here for a little over half a season.
Yeah,
he's not on the Mount
I
Rushmore.
don't even think he's in the top 10.
Oh, he would be in my top 10 for sure on athletes that
Really?
embodied Philadelphia.
Yeah, I don't see that at all. I mean, there's a lot of Eagles guys that
Absolutely.
you could say, Dawkins.
Not many
obviously
Phillies
being one.
embodied Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean Dykstra. I mean
Yeah.
that was a blue collar guy. I mean, I know he's a nut now.
He's
but,
he was a nut back then.
yeah, well, I mean, he took his vitamins and he grew.
He took a lot of things.
He grew very special. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, but
Darren Dalton, maybe.
Dalton definitely.
Dalton would probably be my
Dalton
Philly
was,
choice.
Mount Rushmore
Yeah,
guy.
of embodying Philly.
Yeah, because not only that, he had a great broadcasting career in the end.
Flyers wise, maybe Keith Primo.
Yeah, well, he didn't play anywhere other than after Heroes.
But
his
he
last
was
stop.
but he was an embody. He played that heart.
He did. He had a
gutsy.
great playoff run there in 04.
I went to pretty much every single playoff game
Yeah,
that
he
year.
was amazing there.
Yeah.
But I don't know where the line is because we don't have that many championships to say, hey, he was on the championship team. Like Utley, Rollins, and them. I mean, they're obviously Mount Rushmore guys, but they didn't really go anywhere. I mean, Utley went to the Dodgers, but I don't know where the line is really. But I don't think Butler. I mean, he brought you to the second round. Big deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I
He's here
just,
for half a
I just
year.
love that jersey, and I love him as a player so
Hindsight,
much.
we should have kept him.
So then
fired Brett.
So here's the
traded
question
Ben.
then, on that thing. So the line is, so you can't wear him because he didn't win, whatever. If there's a guy like Jimmy Butler, it's a violation to wear his Sixers jersey. But as a Sixers fan, if I would have gone out and got his Heat jersey, would that have been a bigger violation?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why I didn't go buy his Heat jersey. I don't own a jersey that's not a Philly sports jersey.
As you should.
Exactly.
You should. But,
What was the first jersey you ever got? I'm gonna laugh at this one.
I don't know.
I remember the first jersey. Mom bought me two jerseys early on in life.
What were they?
Charles Barkley Suns jersey,
I do remember
and
that.
she bought me
I
a
remember
Randy Moss Vikings jersey
I remember
for
that.
some reason.
Yes.
They were the first two
I
jerseys.
do
So
remember
where that came
that.
from?
I remember the Barkley.
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
I mean, I love Charles
Old
Barkley. I
school
mean,
Suns,
I loved it. I wish I still
Yeah,
had
that's
it.
pretty good. I mean, you know what? I remember I had a Jerry Stackhouse jersey.
Okay, yeah, I do.
42,
Yeah. It was the old Sixers.
it was like
Yep.
And I can't really remember any football jerseys or
Yeah.
anything.
She must have found the
whatever
Randy
you-
Moss on sale at Clover or
Handed-
something like that,
Handed me down, whatever. I got your hand me down, but I do remember the Stackhouse jersey.
Yeah.
I'm not a big jersey guy. I
Yeah,
refuse to buy a jersey.
Football
anymore.
jerseys are uncomfortable to wear.
It's just they trade and get rid. I
Yeah,
mean, like,
they're so expensive.
I got that
That's what-
nice
all mine-
authentic Wentz jersey for my son,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
he's gone.
my Embiid jersey, I got it for $20 from China. I mean, that's just
From China?
Chinese
Oh,
site.
geez.
I mean, that's all I get,
American,
dude. I got it like 3, 4, 5 years ago, and it's still perfectly good.
Yeah, it's
So
good.
if I'm going to buy jerseys, I'm buying knockoffs because I can't afford that.
I
It's a
don't
waste.
blame you, but
And
the
they
way
just-
teams
My
switch
jerseys are
players,
better hanging up in the background of my. I mean, this background is really nice for the show
this
today.
is way better than
Yeah,
your normal background.
yeah, exactly. The lighting's not perfect here, but it's all good. All right, anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. So, are you predicting an Eagles loss on Sunday?
I am.
Yeah.
I
Final
really
score?
do. I'll go 23-14.
Wow. 23.
Actually, that's not. I don't know. You put me on the spot there. I haven't really thought about it. I don't think
You
it's
can
gonna
think.
be
You
a
can think
9-point
about it.
game.
We'll
Yeah,
be live for
that's a little
football.
crazy.
We'll be live for Football Friday tomorrow. You can give me your prediction for tomorrow. Okay.
All right.
Again, this is Trending in the AM right here on DSM Media. Again, live, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Make sure you follow. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. The road to 500 continues. And as always, all shows are brought to you by Manscaped, the leader in men's grooming products. Manscaped.com. Use promo code TRENDING for 20% off and free shipping. Again, we're live from soon to be sunny Orlando, Florida. It's going to be 85 today. We're going to be drinking lots of Coronas and Miller Lights today. Be live again tomorrow morning. Again, Aaron Bell, Jason Voorhees will be on the show for Football Friday. There is no Thursday night football game tonight, so we didn't have a prediction
Thank
for
God.
tonight. Yeah, Thursday. Well, there's been a few good Thursday night football games.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the first.
Yeah, neither. I don't like any night games. I like
You
1
want
and
to
4
talk about
o'clock
player
games.
safety? I mean,
Yeah.
how is that safe? I mean, a team plays on a Sunday and then they're playing on Thursday.
it's-
it's all
it's-
about money.
It's all money. The
Goodell's a
NFL.
snake.
That's why I said the other day that Roger Goodell, while he's an awful commissioner for the players and the fans,
Great for the
he's
owners.
great for the owners
Oh,
because he
my
makes
God,
them
yeah.
so much
And
freaking
they
money.
compensate him pretty well.
I'm sure he does. Have you seen some of those
Oh,
salaries?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's insane.
Anyway, we'll be live back tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Everybody have a great day. 2 days left in the year. You got 2 days left to get your New Year's resolutions from 2021 finished. Everybody have a great day. We will talk to you tomorrow morning. Again, for my brother,
Thanks for having me.
Charlie,
Appreciate
thanks
it.
for coming on. It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure,
good.
buddy. Great to have you on. Everybody have a great day, and we'll talk tomorrow morning.